Are you ready to finally let go of the things that are holding you back? Take a moment. Think carefully. This isn't just about what you'll gain. It's about what you're losing each day you hold on to what doesn't serve you. Every one of us holds on to things, habits, and beliefs that keep us from our true potential. They might be small things, things you barely notice day to day, but they add up. Like invisible weights tied to your spirit, they pull you back from reaching the heights you were meant to climb. So ask yourself, are you ready to break free from them? Imagine a version of yourself without all the limits you've accepted, without the baggage you've carried for too long. Picture what that life would feel like, lighter, clearer, and filled with possibilities. You have dreams, goals, desires. And deep down, you know what stands in your way isn't always the world around you. Often, it's the world within, your doubts, your fears, your habits. But here's the truth. All these things can be changed. You have the power to let go of what holds you down. You just have to decide that you want more than what you have right now. Consider this for a second. What would happen if you kept living the same way you have been? What if nothing changed? What would you miss out on? Picture your dreams. Maybe it's a career you've always wanted, a relationship you've longed for, or a version of yourself that's stronger, healthier, and happier. Now imagine that slipping away because you held on to what didn't serve you. Imagine reaching the end of your life only to realize you didn't live it fully because you were trapped in habits and mindsets that never belonged to you in the first place. The stakes are real. Every day, you either step closer to your true self or you step away. There's no standing still. Time keeps moving, and with it, your chance to grow, to change, to become. So, let's dive in with a sense of urgency, with the understanding that this isn't just about ideas. It's about actions that shape your life. It's about breaking free, about giving yourself the gift of living without the chains you've grown used to. Right now is the time to make that decision. Not tomorrow, not someday. Now. The stakes are high, but the reward is the life you were meant to live. When you're always seeking validation, you hand over the keys to your happiness to others. Think about that. You're giving someone else the power to decide if you're enough, if you're worthy, if you're doing well. It's like building a house on a foundation that doesn't belong to you. Any moment, it can be taken away. The moment someone disapproves, criticizes, or simply doesn't recognize your worth, you crumble. But the truth is, you don't need anyone's permission to be happy, to feel accomplished, or to feel loved. Consider this. The people you admire most, the ones who seem unshakable, they don't live their lives for applause. They don't rely on others to tell them they're enough. They have an inner compass, a belief in themselves that doesn't sway with public opinion. When you stop seeking validation from others, you start looking inward. You start to find strength in your own voice, your own values, your own purpose. And that strength, it's unbreakable. Every time you seek someone else's approval, you're giving away a piece of yourself. You're telling yourself that their opinion matters more than your own. But who knows you better than you do? Who has lived your experiences, fought your battles, felt your pain, and celebrated your victories? Only you. So why let someone else define your worth? Why let someone else hold that power? From now on, I want you to challenge this habit. The next time you find yourself wanting approval, stop. Take a deep breath. Remind yourself that you're the only one who can truly validate your worth. Instead of looking outward, look inward. Tell yourself that you are enough. Not because someone else said so, but because you decide to believe it. Trust yourself. Approve of yourself. And watch how much lighter, how much stronger, you start to feel. Self-doubt is a thief. It sneaks in, plants seeds of uncertainty, and makes you question if you're capable, if you're ready, if you're worthy. But think about it. Every person who has ever achieved greatness had moments of doubt. Every success story you've heard began with a person who had to push past the voice in their head saying, "You're not enough." Doubt is normal. It's part of being human. But letting it stop you, that's a choice. And it's a choice you don't have to make. Consider the story of Oprah. She faced rejection after rejection when she first started. There were people who told her she didn't have what it took. There were setbacks, obstacles, and voices, both internal and external, that said she should give up. But what if she had listened? What if she had let those doubts win? We would have lost one of the most influential voices of our time. Self-doubt might knock on your door, but it doesn't mean you have to invite it in. You don't have to let it unpack its bags and settle down in your mind. When you let self-doubt control you, you're choosing to believe in your limitations more than in your potential. You're choosing to see what you can't do instead of what you can. But here's a truth you need to hear. There's a version of you on the other side of doubt that's stronger, wiser, and more capable than you can imagine. The only way to meet that version is to push through the doubt, to act in spite of it, to keep going even when your mind tells you to stop. So the next time you feel doubt creeping in, recognize it, acknowledge it, but don't let it lead. Tell yourself, I am more than my doubts. I am stronger than my fears. I am capable, even if I don't always feel that way. Then take one small step toward your goal, no matter how scared or uncertain you feel. Each step you take is a step away from doubt and a step toward the person you're meant to be. Comparison is a thief of joy. It's like a shadow that follows you, casting darkness over everything you do, no matter how bright. You look at someone else's success, their achievements, their happiness, and somehow you feel less than. But here's the truth. No two people have the same journey. No two people have the same challenges, the same dreams, the same path. When you compare yourself to others, you're measuring your unique story against a script that was never meant for you. Imagine you're running a race, but instead of focusing on your lane, you keep looking to the left, to the right, watching everyone else. What happens? You lose your balance, your speed, your focus. Comparison distracts you from your path, from your goals, from your purpose. And the people you're comparing yourself to, they're running their own race. They're focused on their journey, their goals, their dreams. They're not looking at you. They're too busy with their own lives. The people you admire, the ones you think have it all together, they have struggles you'll never see. They have moments of doubt, of fear, of confusion. Just because someone's path looks shiny doesn't mean it's smooth. Every person you compare yourself to is fighting their own battles, facing their own challenges, learning their own lessons, just like you. So instead of comparing, start celebrating. Celebrate your strengths, your growth, your progress. You don't have to be anyone but yourself. You don't have to measure up to anyone else's journey because your journey is unique. Every step you take is yours. Every victory, every setback, every lesson, it's all part of the path you're meant to walk. The next time you catch yourself comparing, stop. Take a moment to remember that you're enough. Remind yourself that you're exactly where you need to be, learning exactly what you need to learn. Let go of the need to be someone else and embrace the incredible person you already are. Your life is your story. Don't waste it trying to live someone else's. Procrastination is like putting your dreams on hold. It's the habit of telling yourself, I'll do it tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes. You know the feeling. There's something you want, something you know will bring you closer to your goals, but you keep pushing it to the side. Maybe it's fear of failure. Maybe it's the comfort of routine. But whatever the reason, each day you put it off, you're keeping yourself from the life you could be living. Think about it like this. Your dreams are waiting on the other side of action. Every time you put something off, you're building a wall between yourself and your goals. The longer you wait, the higher that wall becomes. Suddenly, what could have been a simple step forward feels like a mountain you can't climb. But here's the truth. Action is the antidote to procrastination. Every small step you take chips away at that wall, bringing you closer to what you want. Consider the story of someone like Steve Jobs. When he had an idea, he didn't wait for the perfect moment. He didn't let fear or doubt keep him from starting. He acted, he failed, he learned, and he kept going. If he had waited, if he had delayed, the world might have missed out on the revolutionary changes he brought about. He didn't procrastinate because he knew that each day, each moment was a chance to move closer to his vision. And that's the mindset you need to adopt. So the next time you feel like putting something off, remember this. You don't have to do everything today, but you have to do something. Even if it's a small step, even if it feels insignificant, it's a step forward. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for the perfect time. Start now. Make a commitment to yourself that you'll take action today, no matter how small. Because every action, no matter how minor, brings you closer to the life you want. Excuses are the stories we tell ourselves to justify why we're not where we want to be. They're the barriers we put up to protect ourselves from disappointment, from failure, from discomfort. But here's the truth about excuses. They're comfortable lies. They give us a reason to stay where we are, but they don't get us any closer to where we want to go. And the more we believe them, the more they hold us back. Think of people who have achieved great things despite the odds. Think of someone like J.K. Rowling. She faced rejection, she faced poverty. She was told she would never make it as a writer. But she didn't let those challenges turn into excuses. She didn't say, I can't do it because I've been rejected, or I can't succeed because I don't have the money. Instead, she pushed forward, she found a way, and she changed her life. If she had accepted those excuses, the world would never have known the magic of her words. Excuses are easy to believe, but they rob you of your power. They make you think that you're a victim of your circumstances, when in reality, you have more control than you realize. Every time you make an excuse, you're giving up a piece of that control. You're choosing to stay where you are instead of pushing forward. But when you stop making excuses, you take back that control. You take responsibility for your life, for your choices, for your future. So, I want you to challenge yourself. The next time you find yourself making an excuse, stop. Ask yourself, is this really true? Or am I just avoiding what's uncomfortable? Don't let excuses define your life. Don't let them keep you from the greatness you're capable of. Commit to taking responsibility for your dreams, for your goals, for your journey. Because when you stop making excuses, you start making progress. We all make mistakes. It's a part of life, a part of growth, a part of learning. But what keeps us trapped is when we hold on to those mistakes, replaying them in our minds, letting them define who we are. Dwelling on past mistakes is like carrying a heavy bag that you don't need. Every step you take, you feel its weight, pulling you down, making every journey harder than it needs to be. But here's the truth. The past is only as heavy as you allow it to be. Imagine you're climbing a mountain. Every time you bring up a past mistake, it's like adding another stone to your backpack. The higher you climb, the heavier it gets, and eventually you feel like you can't go any further. But what if you decided to let those stones go? What if, instead of carrying them, you use them as stepping stones? Every mistake is a lesson. Every regret, a reminder. You don't have to carry them, you just have to learn from them. Think about someone like Thomas Edison. He failed thousands of times before he invented the light bulb. Thousands. But he didn't let those failures weigh him down. He didn't dwell on each failed attempt. Instead, he learned from each one and kept moving forward. If he had let those mistakes define him, he would have given up long before he succeeded. But he chose to see each failure as a lesson, not a burden. So the next time you find yourself stuck on a past mistake, remind yourself that you don't have to carry it with you. Acknowledge it, learn from it, and then let it go. You are not your past mistakes. You're not defined by them. You are defined by how you rise from them, by how you learn, by how you grow. Forgive yourself, let go, and make space for the person you're becoming, because that person is worth it. Trying to control everything is like trying to hold on to sand. The tighter you grip, the more it slips through your fingers. Life is unpredictable. It has twists, turns, surprises, and setbacks. And as much as we'd like to have it all figured out, the reality is we can't. But here's the beauty in that. Some of life's greatest moments come from the things we can't control. The spontaneous laughter, the unexpected opportunities, the people we meet by chance. When we try to control everything, we close ourselves off to these possibilities. Imagine you're sailing a boat. You can control the direction, you can steer, you can adjust the sails, but you can't control the wind or the waves. All you can do is navigate, adapt, and trust the process. Life is much the same way. When we try to control every single aspect, we end up exhausted and frustrated. We miss the beauty in the journey because we're too focused on forcing it to go a certain way. But when we let go, when we trust, we open ourselves to something greater. Look at people who have embraced this mindset. Think of someone like Nelson Mandela, who spent years in prison, unable to control his circumstances. Yet he used that time to grow, to learn, to strengthen his spirit. He couldn't control the outside world, but he mastered his inner world. And when he was finally released, he emerged not with bitterness, but with a spirit of forgiveness and a vision for unity. So I encourage you to let go of the need to control everything. Start with small steps. Choose one thing today that you're stressing over and release it. Let go, breathe, and trust that life will unfold as it should. Remember, you don't have to control every aspect of the journey. Just steer the boat and trust the wind to take you where you need to go. Self-care isn't selfish. It's essential. Too often we get caught up in taking care of everyone else, our families, our friends, our responsibilities, and we forget about ourselves. We tell ourselves that there's no time, that it's not important, that we'll get to it later. But here's the truth. If you don't take care of yourself, you won't be able to fully be there for anyone else. You can't pour from an empty cup. Think of yourself as a garden. If you don't water it, if you don't nourish it, if you don't give it sunlight, it won't thrive. Self-care is like tending to that garden. It's giving yourself the love, the time, and the attention you need to grow. It doesn't have to be elaborate. It could be as simple as taking 5 minutes to breathe deeply, as simple as going for a walk, as simple as saying no to something that drains you. Consider people who make self-care a priority. They aren't perfect, but they're resilient. They're able to bounce back from setbacks because they're grounded in a place of strength and balance. They know that by taking care of themselves, they're better equipped to handle life's challenges. So, make a commitment to yourself. Find small ways to practice self-care every day. It doesn't have to be grand. Just take a moment to check in with yourself, to ask, what do I need right now? Honor yourself, nurture yourself, and remember that you are worthy of the same love and care you give to others. Failure isn't the end. It's a stepping stone, a lesson, a part of growth. But so often, we let the fear of failure keep us from even trying. We worry about what people will think, about what it will mean if we don't succeed. But think about this. Every person who has achieved something great has faced failure. They didn't avoid it, they learned from it. Imagine a child learning to walk. They stumble, they fall, they scrape their knees. But they get up over and over again because they're focused on moving forward, not on the falls. Somewhere along the way as adults, we lose that resilience. We start to believe that failure is something to be feared, something to avoid at all costs. But in reality, failure is one of our greatest teachers. Think of someone like Michael Jordan. He missed thousands of shots, lost games, faced defeats, but he didn't let those failures define him. He used them as fuel, as motivation to keep improving, to keep pushing. Failure didn't break him, it built him, and it can do the same for you. So don't be afraid to fail. Embrace it, learn from it. Understand that every failure brings you one step closer to success. The only true failure is never trying at all. Take that risk, make that leap, and remember that falling isn't the end. It's just a part of the journey. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your values or your goals, you're saying no to something that does. Think about that. We say yes out of guilt, out of obligation, out of fear of disappointing others. But here's the truth. Every yes you give that doesn't serve you drains your energy, your time, and your focus. It takes you further away from where you're meant to be. Imagine your time and energy as a bank account. Every yes you give is a withdrawal. If you're constantly saying yes to things that don't serve you, you'll find yourself depleted, exhausted, and unable to give to the things that truly matter. But when you start saying no to what doesn't align with you, you create space. Space for growth, for peace, for purpose. Think of people who have mastered this skill. They don't feel guilty for setting boundaries. They know that by protecting their time and energy, they're able to show up fully for the things that matter most. They're not being selfish, they're being wise. So, start saying no to what doesn't serve you. Respect your time, honor your energy, and remember that you have the right to protect your peace. Every no is a yes to something that aligns with your true self. You are capable of so much more than you give yourself credit for. Too often, we downplay our abilities, our talents, our potential. We tell ourselves that we're not ready, not good enough, not strong enough. But here's the truth. You have everything you need within you to achieve greatness. The only thing holding you back is the belief that you can't. Imagine a diamond buried under the ground. It's rough, unpolished, hidden. But with time, with effort, it shines. You are that diamond. Your potential is waiting to be uncovered. But first, you have to believe that it's there. You have to believe that you are worthy of success, of happiness, of growth. Look at people who have achieved incredible things. They're not superhuman. They're not perfect. They simply believed in themselves. They took risks. They put in the work. They refused to let self-doubt stop them. And you can do the same. So stop underestimating yourself. Trust in your abilities, trust in your strength, and remember that you are capable of more than you can imagine. Don't let self-doubt dim your light. Believe in yourself, take that step, and watch what unfolds. The past is a place of lessons, not a place to live. Yet many of us spend so much time there, replaying old memories, reliving old pain, wondering what could have been. But here's the reality. The past is gone. You can't change it. You can't relive it. But you can learn from it. You can choose to take the lessons and move forward. Imagine driving a car while constantly looking in the rearview mirror. You can't see where you're going. You can't enjoy the journey because you're too focused on what's behind you. Living in the past is the same. It keeps you from fully experiencing the present, from embracing the opportunities that are right in front of you. Think of people who have overcome difficult pasts. They didn't let their history define their future. They used it as fuel, as wisdom, as strength. They moved forward, not because it was easy, but because they knew that their future deserved more than to be trapped in the past. So choose to let go, choose to live in the present, to embrace what's here, and to build a future that reflects who you are today. Leave the past where it belongs and give yourself the freedom to move forward. There's no perfect time. Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. So many people put their dreams on hold, waiting for the right time, the right moment, the right circumstances. But here's the truth. The right time is now. The right time is the moment you decide to take action. Imagine someone standing at the edge of a diving board, waiting for the perfect moment to jump. They keep waiting, hesitating, hoping for some sign. But as they wait, the opportunity slips away. Life is like that diving board. If you keep waiting, you'll find yourself standing on the edge of missed opportunities, wondering where the time went. People who achieve their dreams don't wait for the stars to align. They act, they adjust, they learn along the way. They know that action breeds confidence, not the other way around. They leap, even when they're scared, because they know that growth comes from taking that first step. So don't wait, don't hold back. Whatever dream you have, whatever goal you're chasing, start today. The perfect time may never come, but the right time is always now. Your intuition is your guide, your compass, your inner wisdom. Yet so often we ignore it. We let logic, fear, or the opinions of others drown out that quiet voice inside us. But here's the truth. Your inner voice knows what's best for you. It knows your strengths, your desires, your path. All you have to do is listen. Imagine being lost in a forest with a compass in your hand, but choosing not to use it. You wander aimlessly, unsure of where to go, even though you have the tool to guide you. Ignoring your inner voice is like ignoring that compass. It's there to help you, to lead you, to show you the way. Think of people who follow their intuition. They aren't always understood, they aren't always logical, but they're in tune with themselves. They trust their gut, they honor their feelings, and they make decisions that align with their true selves. So start listening. The next time you feel that nudge, that instinct, don't dismiss it. Trust it. Follow it. Your inner voice is there to guide you to the life you're meant to live. Remember, letting go of what holds you back isn't just a choice. It's a commitment to yourself. It's a promise that you're going to do what it takes to live fully, to grow, to become the person you were meant to be. Each one of these habits, these mindsets, they're chains that keep you from reaching your true potential. But here's the beautiful thing about chains. They can be broken. So don't wait. Don't hold on to what no longer serves you. Embrace this moment, this opportunity to start fresh, to release what weighs you down, and to step into the life you deserve. Every day is a new chance to let go of the old and embrace the new. You have the power, the strength, the courage. Use it. And remember, don't be afraid to fall forward. Embrace every challenge as an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to become who you were meant to be. The time to start is now. Time to